once again.
Did you know that sitting is the new smoking? Are you sitting too long throughout the day and not moving enough? Welcome to the Joyful Movement segment. Joyful Movement is one of the 6 pillars of self-care, part of the Savoia Self-Care Method. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Rita Savoia. I'm a certified nutritionist, holistic wellness coach, and workplace wellness consultant. Today, we're going to be talking about joyful movement and why we should be incorporating joyful movement throughout the day. So what exactly is joyful movement? I'm going to quickly share with you a presentation because I'm a very visual person, and I want to share with you visuals so that you can actually retain this information a little bit more. So let's get started. What is joyful movement? Joyful movement is really any movement that brings joy to your heart and allows you to exercise love and passion and really brings you to the present moment, right? It's a movement that you look forward to and brings out that inner child. It brings you into the present moment, like dance, yoga, tai chi, right? It's movement that does not create massive stress and inflammation, but actually improves your mobility and flexibility. So it's movement that doesn't feel like punishment, but it feels like a joyful celebration of not only your body's strength and vitality, but also harmonizing your heart, mind, and body, bringing these fundamentals of health in union. So rather than exercising for weight loss, I invite you to consider joyful movement that encourages exercise that brings you positive emotions and benefits like energy and enhanced body awareness. Now, because different things bring joy to all of us, joyful movement can look different for everyone. Your joyful movement routine could include typical exercises like jogging, fitness classes, or working out in a gym, but it can also include less obvious activities such as playing with your children or grandchildren, dancing, stretching, or jumping on a trampoline. Now, how fun is that, right? So for some of us, going on nature walks is a really, really therapeutic way to include joyful movement in your day. And now in Canada, we have some beautiful forests here. So I try to get out nature walks almost every day. Did you know that Japanese doctors actually prescribe nature walks as a type of therapy for many health issues like depression and anxiety and stress? It's actually called forest bathing. The negative ions from nature offset the positive ions we are bombarded with every day from our modern day technology. So the evidence is really clear that nature really does help with our mental health and overall health. I love to go out in nature when I have to make a decision or when I need to be a little bit more creative with my next steps. I go out in Mother Nature, I come back. I may not always have the answer or the direction or the clarity right away, but at least within a couple of days, I always get my answer or my direction or my creative flair. So I urge you, I recommend that you go out and spend some time in nature, and that can be your joyful movement routine. I also recommend going in the morning and also before sunset. That can really help to set your circadian rhythm up so for improved sleep. And I've mentioned this in a couple of more videos, but it's worth repeating for sure. Now, for the lucky ones that are by a beach or live in a tropical, for my friends in Dubai that live, or Mexico, by the way, that live in a tropical country, then go out on the beach because it has very similar benefits as nature, right? Or biking, that would be amazing because then you're getting double the benefits. You're exercising as well as you're getting those negative ions from nature, right? So I really invite you to incorporate this mindful, joyful movement within your everyday routine. Now, if some of you are struggling and saying, what is my joyful movement? What do I enjoy? Well, I invite you to do this. What did you enjoy as a child? What activities were you enjoying as a kid? My personal story, I used to love going to the park with my brother, and I remember the summers very clearly. We would spend practically all day playing soccer, pick up soccer there with people that would just pass by. So I till this day, I still love going to the park and kicking around the ball. So probably it would be a good exercise to gauge what did you do as a kid that was really fun, and see if there's an adult version of it, or it still kind of exists, right? Another thing that I really enjoy doing is going to the gym and doing spinning, as well as yoga. So I love doing my yoga. And for me, I never regret going to yoga and getting on my mat and doing a great session. So I love it. So again, it's not torture for me. It's super, super relaxing, as well as a body strengthening exercise, but it really brings me to the present moment. When I'm in my yoga studio, I just close everything else that's happening in my world, and I'm super, super present, and it just feels amazing. And it really strengthens my focus and concentration off the mat. So that's something that I do and I quite enjoy, and I can't really live a day without it. Another tip that's really interesting is that investing in good workout gear actually will spark that motivation to go and work out, right? Or go and enjoy that joyful movement. So just remember that the best workout clothes are ones that help you breathe, right? And actually add a little bit of joy rather than making it, taking it away, right? So just would be a really cool thing to do. So we talked about deliberate joyful movement and how to add it to your schedule, but I do want to bring something to your attention about moving naturally, okay? As opposed to, so that deliberate joyful movement, as opposed to something that's fixed, like going to the gym, right? For like an hour, and then that's it. You're sitting for the rest of the day. So according to the hotspots of longevity, known as the blue zones, there are 9 common denominators that help us live long, healthy lives, or help them. And the number one common denominator is that these people are actually moving naturally, right? So something to consider, that the world's longest lived people don't pump iron, run marathons, or join gyms. Instead, they live in an environment that constantly nudges them into moving, right? They grow gardens, they really virtually walk everywhere, and most certainly don't sit in front of a computer all day. Now, I know what you're thinking. Thanks, Rita, but we really can't replicate or recreate that environment. Or can you? Right? Here are some tips for busy people just like you to create that environment which encourages that natural movement. Park further from entrances, right? Ditch the elevator whenever you can and take the stairs. Take a short moving break throughout the day, maybe perhaps every 30 minutes. Encourage walking meetings. Walk before you start your day in the morning. Skip the Netflix binge watching and take a walk after dinner. Right? So these are all sort of things that I just came up with in a couple of seconds. So I'm sure you can come up with some that are a lot, and they hit home as well, right? So kind of ponder and think, what else can I do to incorporate natural movement throughout the day and incorporate it in your daily routine? But whatever joyful movement you choose, it should feel like a celebration of your body, right? And it shouldn't cause stress or strain. It should really be super liberating, okay? So get involved with a friend perhaps, right? And even long distance or virtual. It's always better to do it in company and to have that accountability. An interesting fact about most animals in nature, for example, when a zebra survives an attack from a lion, it actually shakes its body and moves its body to release that stress. It actually puts itself in a self-induced seizure. And to let that stress go, right? That stressful event. Now, if you think about it, we don't really do that at all, do we? We have these crazy, intense, stressful days, but we don't really release our physical stress, do we? So it's important to do some sort of random movement into your day to release that stress. So here's a suggestion. When you first get home from work, or you just finish a pretty intense conversation or a meeting on Zoom, just loosen up. Shake your arms and your legs and just let everything go. And perhaps even do a little dance or jump up and down. Try it. Give it a go and see how that goes. It's actually really, really fun. I was doing a challenge for 5 days, and I started each challenge with music, and I was literally dancing to the music. Kid you not, those 5 days, I felt so energized and I felt so positive for the rest of the day. It was amazing. So I highly recommend that you do try this. So In terms of to wrap up, I would love for you to put in the comments, what is your joyful movement? What are you going to commit to? Commit to it for at least 21 days. And it could be something that you can incorporate. Like I said, like, park further from your entrances that you need to go into, or even take the elevator. Sorry, skip the elevator and take the actual stairs. So something as simple as that, right? As well as, returning your shopping carts. How many of us just leave the shopping cart wherever? How about actually returning it to the station? Like I actually use that as a way to get more steps in throughout the day. So again, thank you so much for sharing this space with me today. And I'd love to hear from you and how you shake your body and move your body even after a stressful event. That would be super, super highly recommended. So thank you again for sharing this space, and stay tuned for more tips as well as more upcoming events. And I cannot wait to see you soon. Ciao for now.